MA Today crew. I wanted to give you a quicker version of the recording I did earlier about how to do the vertical short version of your segment. The assignment is in Canvas. Please turn it into here. The video I'm recording will be right here. And so step one, open up Premiere, find your sequence, and duplicate it. So a lot of you still aren't familiar with this part of Premiere, but this is the sequence. This is where we edit stuff. It looks different than footage. So footage has this sort of icon right here, and a sequence has this icon. So you need to make sure you find the correct sequence. So I have a prod 3 and a director's 4. So I want to find the prod 3 sequence right there. I know it's a sequence because it has that little icon on it, and it is really tiny. If I switch to list view, it's a little bit more obvious because they're a different color. So sequences are in a green, whereas footage is in blue. So either way. So now that I have that sequence found, right, I want to duplicate it. The second I duplicate it, I want to rename it. So this one is prod 3 pask. This is prod 3 pask. This is the copy. I want to right click on it and choose rename. Rename's right here. Boop. And I'm going to call it vert teaser or vert short. I'll call it teaser, right? Because it's teasing my big thing. Now, this is my current editing one, but this is an exact copy, and it looks very similar, except it has a different name. So this is why we wanted to rename it right away. So I'm going to close that. So now I'm on something I can destroy, and I still have my original version right here. No problem, okay? So with that being said, the next thing, that's step one, right? So we've copied it, and now we've double-clicked it. Now we're on step two. We have the new vertical teaser sequence open, and we are going to decide on the best 20 to 60 seconds. So you could do parts. You can do like a little from the beginning, a little from the end. But I really like what I did here with my family. So I'm going to just end it right here after, right when they get to the movie. Me again, and flash. I'm going to end it right there. So I'm going to delete this thing, and I'm actually just going to use the cut tool and just cut everything. Maybe leave a little bit of the song. So I have everything over here, and I'm just going to, let's go to my arrow. I'm going to have everything to the right of that and delete it. And maybe I'll leave a little bit of the tail of the song just to kind of trail out afterwards. Something like that. Okay, now if I hit the / button, now I can see, now I have a shorter version of my clip. Now, and that's step one. So you've picked a shorter person, right? Don't include the whole edit. I'm trying to make it less work, but most shorts that you see that take from a horizontal format usually are like a teaser or just a little bit of the actual entire movie. You could do the whole thing if you wanted to. It's just a little bit more work. All right. Here's the big step. We want to go from horizontal to vertical, and luckily, it's the same numbers, just inverted. So instead of 1920 by 1080, it's 1080 by 1920. So where you do that is under sequence settings. So back to my Premiere, and I go to sequence. Oops, make sure if you can't select it, make sure you're on your sequence settings. And now I'm just going to switch these two around. So this will become 1080, instead of 1920, it's 1080, so I'm just going to take that number and put it over here. Oops. And then this one's going to be 1920. So instead of 16 by 9, it's 9 by 16. Hit enter. And it's going to say everything's going to change. And you say yes. All right? So now everything's vertical. And that looks okay, but it could look better. So there's a couple things I can do. So your vertical, now that you're in this vertical format, some of the stuff is working really well, and some of it needs some work, right? So let's start with me here, right? So I'm going to click on my footage right here, double click it. I'm going to go to Effect Controls, and I just need to zoom in so my face covers all of these blank spaces. So I'm going to hit Scale. It's okay that you're cutting me off a little bit. You can still see me looking in the camera. I might need to move it over to the left, so then I go Position. Okay, and that's me there. There we go, that looks good. Another thing to take note is the text. So just to kind of go back to our thing. So that was step 4 I just went over. So 3, switch it to the vertical thing. Then step 4, I just went to the Effect Controls and change Scale and Position. I'll repeat that step. Also, step 5, some of the text might look differently because you've made it vertical. So this is really, really small. On the horizontal video, it looked fine, but on this one, it needs to be bigger. So I can double click on the text. I'm gonna wanna change the font size to be probably twice as big, like something like that. And then I'm gonna wanna make this 2 lines instead of 1. Something like that. Go back to my arrow, maybe reposition it a little bit, something like that. Does that make sense? So the text will have to get edited in the text editor, whereas the position of your footage will have to get repositioned under effect controls. I also need to do it like over here to like this stuff, me presenting. So I'll double click on me presenting. I hit effect controls. I'm going to zoom in on me because the video is about me. I know, very egocentric here. And then I'm going to put this over here like that. So now that's suited for video. That's just going to take you some time. You're going to have to recalibrate stuff. You don't have to keyframe, but remember, if you do want to keyframe, you have to hit the stopwatch for position and scale. And then once those are blue, everything keeps changing. Similar to like how these are right here, right? So over here, everything's blue and everything works, right? All right, when you're all done. So step 4 and step 5 are going to take some time. At the very end of your video, either add tune into MA today or follow us at MA today or something like that. Whatever the hashtag is, or you can just say tune into MA today. And this is why I left a little bit of the song. So then I can just go to my text tool right here and I can type in tune in to MA today. Maybe I'll put our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MABearTV. And then I can always restyle it over here in the right-hand window by double-clicking it as an arrow. I can also give it like, I can pull this. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Give it a little bit of a rotation like so. Oh, come on, right? There, just a little diagonal. All right, I'd fix that. I don't like the way that looks. Clean it up a little bit. There you go. Do whatever aesthetic you choose, whatever you like. Something like that will work. And don't forget to kind of do a crossfade, right? Apply default cross dissolve. Maybe put it on top at the end. Turn off my snap. And then I'm good to export. So when you export, you're going to get a vertical video. That's going to be totally used for whatever you need. So I'm going to hit Command E. Or Command M, or just go to the export tab over here. And I'm going to call it, third period, whatever I told you to call it. What did I tell you to call it? I didn't tell you to call anything, so go ahead and turn it in. Export and submit here on Canvas. You can call it vertical teaser, segment of service vertical. That's what I would call it. SOS, maybe the topic, and then your last name, so we give you credit. And then go ahead and turn that into, make sure you're sending it to the desktop, and you're going to turn that into Canvas. And that's your goal for today. Good luck.